What I'd like to do tonight, understand tonight is really just a high-level overview of what DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster, is all about. Actually, it's the process of getting through DTM. Some of you are closer than you know already. I guarantee you are much closer than you know. Some of you, as I look around the room, got more knowledge about being a Distinguished Toastmaster than Herman ever thought about having. If you are not talking, please put yourself on mute. Understood. Here's what I'd like to do. Tonight is all about, we have all heard that we should begin with the end in mind. And that's exactly where I'm going to start. There's only one step that you need to take before Toastmasters International makes the decision on whether or not you will be a Distinguished Toastmaster. And that step is to submit your DTM application. It's a 2-page application. What we're going to spend the night is taking a look at that application. I am not going to go very deep in it. There are some things here that tonight it would take it in another session. We will go. So like Club Coach, what does it take to be a Club Coach? Speechcraft, what does it take to put on a Speechcraft? Youth Leadership Program, what does it take to put on a Youth Leadership Program? We don't have the time tonight to do that. But I'm going to tell you that a Youth Leadership Program is required. And when it's required. Can everyone see my slides? Just give me a thumbs up or something there with that. I cannot see anybody. Anybody with a thumbs up?
Yes, we can.
All right, got it. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. That's exactly what it is. It's a DTM award. DTM award. Let's just start right off the bat. What is a DTM award? What is a Distinguished Toastmaster award? Understand this. I like you to stay awake because I don't read slides. It's up to you to read the slide. I'm going to give you some high-level things on what's on each one of these slides to understand that. But it's the highest level of achievement. We already know that. I don't need to tell you that. But it's about the completion of a journey. When you reach DTM, it is about the completion of a journey. First song. Now, the information I said, they wanted to call it a complete journey. I want to say is just the beginning of a journey. Right? It's you can say it's the completion of one and the beginning of another, because your service continues on as you move through Toastmasters. Here's my story. My very first club mentor back in about 2011, 2012. Once that guy got his DTM, I haven't heard from him since. I don't know whether he's still in Toastmasters. He definitely wasn't in our club, but he stopped coming to the meetings, the whole 9 yards. Haven't heard from him since. Don't let that be you. Don't let that be you. All of that stuff that you learn leading up to getting your DTM award is valuable and it's useful. And we can certainly use it in the district, throughout this district. How many of you are within, you think, 6 months? If you think you are within 6 months, raise your hand. Raise your hand. Give me a thumbs up or something. If you think you are within 6 months of getting done, let me know. Whether it's your first, second, or third, or fifth DTM award. So some folks, you really think you're that close, within 6 months. All right. I would say 6 months. Good. So there are quite a few folks that have done some things. It really represents 2 core achievements. One is on the communication and education side, the other is on leadership and service. Think about it as you're going through, you're progressing through, doing pathways, of course, which is the basis for a lot of it. That's piece of where you think that lies. On the education side, where you complete 2 distinct learning paths. Now, why do you think Toastmasters had to say 2 distinct learning paths? That's because somebody did 2 of the same path and tried to submit it at one point. Okay, 2 different paths is what you have to do. All right. And we know what it does, what it takes. Hopefully we know what it takes. And you may or may not have completed a path yet. But it's all 5 levels in each path. And you do 2 of them. And you're headed toward the DTM. And you do the DTM project. The DTM project, we'll get to that in a minute. It's totally separate. But that's the education side. On the leadership and service side, those are the roles that we do. Those are the roles that we do beginning right there in your club. I want to warn you now, do not get district level roles mixed up with club level roles. Like when it says that you are a mentor or to coach a club, that doesn't mean that, when a new person comes in, you're not that person's mentor and I'm now getting credit for being a DTM. That's not the kind of mentor we're talking about. Or if you want to, another club says, hey, Herman, how about we will gift you a membership if you come over and give us some pointers and make sure that we get to where we're supposed to be. That's not a club coach, not in the sense of getting credit for being a distinguished Toastmaster. That has to be said because in the past, people have said, hey, I coached the club, they got distinguished, and boom, here I am. No, that's not the credit you get. We'll discuss exactly how you get that. Two different sides of it: communications, education, leadership, and service. Six requirements. Herman, I know there are more than six requirements to get the DTM, but they're really broken down into six requirements. First of all, is pathways. That's considered one. Being a club officer is another one. Being a district leader is another. Being a mentor, a sponsor of Speechcraft, and complete a DTM project. Those are the other three. So that's a total of six things that you need to do. Okay. Sponsor Speechcraft, there are some other things in there, youth leadership program, some things that you can do. Six requirements. Wow. Show me, Herman. Show me the six. Show me the six. First of all, requirement number one, complete 2 learning paths. We understand that. Complete 2 learning paths. 2 paths. Recorded in Basecamp. Make sure you record everything. You are going to need those dates that you completed these projects for that DTM application. Record everything you do in Basecamp so it's reflected on your history. You can keep track of it. It'll help you track it. And then it's the foundation for the DTM project. You don't get access to your DTM project until you have completed 1 full path and 3 levels of a second path. Then you can get access to it. How do you get access to it? You actually have to request it from Toastmasters International. They will send you access to it electronically. What's a DTM project? Talk about that also. Requirement number 1, completing 2 learning paths.
Meeting is being recorded.
Someone needs to mute. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, somebody's open. Hang on. I'm sorry, Herman.
Words.
I'm going to check this, see who's open.
Okay.
Hopefully they'll mute by the time I get to them.
Except you need to be a club officer. It says here, club officer service. But you need to be a club officer for 1 full year, whether you do that in 2 6-month terms or you do it from July 1 to June 30. You need to be a club officer. While you're a club officer or not, you need to participate in preparing your club's club success plan. We know what the club officer roles are, those 7. The immediate past president, okay, that means you have been a president, is not a club officer role, okay? Well, Sergeant Arms missing at that. We know the Sergeant SAA is one of the others. And you need to attend district-sponsored club officer training. TLI, we know that. So far, Herman, you haven't told me anything I don't know. There we are. District leadership service, what's required? If you look at the positions on the left-hand side, those are the district leadership positions that will get you credit toward your DTM, okay? Please ignore that on the right-hand side over there. I'm using some backup slides and that would have been corrected. I apologize for that. But you need to do it for a year, a full year. You need to do it for a full year. But I can tell you right now here, we have an opening. Let me use this as does anybody need a district level position? You need a district level position, do you? Anybody? Anybody need to do one? It's a year long, but that's okay. It's a year long. I take that as a no. No takers. If you know of anyone that needs to be an area director, tell them to contact the district director. Okay. If you know of anyone that needs to be an area director right now, can get you in under the window. I know it says 1 July or 1 July, can get you in right now to get you credit for the whole year. Right now, area director. You know anybody? Are you one that needs to do it? Here's an opportunity. You know, opportunities don't knock all the time, but here it is. Here's an opportunity knocking that can get you to do what you need to do. Those are the eligible positions. Those are the only ones that bottom one. Can anybody tell me what that last one is? District leader, club coach exception. Anyone explain to me what a club coach exception is to be a district leader? Anybody, please? Anybody? We know what an area direction, division director.
Can I try to throw one out there?
Absolutely, Vanny, go ahead.
So is that somebody who just sees a club that may be struggling and goes out of their way to try to help build it, taking the except, I'm just trying to throw out ideas. Is that an option?
You're down the road, Vinny, but you're not there yet. First of all, to be a club coach, you have to be appointed. You have to be appointed. And the starting point for being a club coach is always the club growth director to be a club coach. For a club to be eligible, two parts of that. You're not going to be a club coach for somebody that's well on their way to being smedley distinguished. They don't need a club coach. Okay. But for someone that has 8 members or less and is struggling with just putting together a good, solid meeting, putting together a good, solid plan to get more people on, they are eligible for a club coach. Now, say you are assigned as a club coach, you need to be a club coach. I'm sorry. You need to coach that club until it reaches distinguished. And you have 2 years. 2 years to do that. Hopefully you'll do it. That people have done it in less than 2 years, but you can until they reach distinguished status, and then you are good for meeting your requirement as a club coach. Minimum of 6 months, maximum of 2 years. Somebody's going to ask, hey, Herman, what happens if they don't reach distinguished in 2 years? You can be extended for another 2 years. Okay. Now, the club coach exception is that if you are coaching a club, minimum of 6 months, you coach them and they reach distinguished and they reach 20 members, you will get credit for being a coach and a district level position. That's what the club coach exception is. Okay. Does anybody not understand that? I take that as everybody understands. Club coach or mentor, we'll talk about it. Here's that distinction of don't get it twisted between what's going on in the club and what's going on at the district level. A club mentor is only assigned to a newly chartered club. A newly chartered club. You need to coach. You simply coach that club for a minimum of 6 months after the charter is granted. Your appointment, as it says, must be officially recorded with Toastmasters International. And the only way you get it officially recorded is for you to be officially assigned by the district director or the club growth director. Okay. 6 months. 6 months. Club mentor, you're done. Club coach, I just explained to you about club coach. and being eligible for a club coach, how long you have to do it, so forth and so on. You meet that criteria, but you're appointed and officially recorded by TI. But a club coach can be appointed is for those struggling clubs, okay? For the struggling clubs. Club sponsor or community program. Let's talk about club sponsor. Club sponsors are for newly formed clubs. Of clubs being newly formed, you want to be a sponsor. As a matter of fact, do you have an idea right now? If you have an idea right now for a club, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. If you have an, I know this, I want to start, or I wish this particular club would start up, I would join it today. Put it in the chat. If you have one right now, you had an idea for a club, put it in the chat. You can be one of the sponsors for that club. Each new club can have 2 sponsors, and I failed to mention that each new club can have 2 mentors as well. 2 sponsors. If you have an idea for a club, put it in the chat. I'm going to come back to that. Club sponsor. Speechcraft is one of those that I say we are going. Speechcraft and the Youth Leadership Program, we are coming up. We are going to have a separate session for both of those. As a matter of fact, I put them together in the same session, get about 30 minutes on it, and we will take a deep dive into Speechcraft. But Speechcraft is when you coordinate it, just read it, complete a community or organization that follows the Toastmasters guidelines. Say if somebody in your workplace, or you work in the community, your church, your so forth, so on, you got 5 people there that want to know about Toastmasters. You have this 4, 6, 8-week program that you can do for them that gives them just a little taste of Toastmasters. Okay. And then some of the things that they do, and if they were to join Toastmasters, would count toward what they did. But you would get credit for, you would organize. The organizer gets credit for the Speechcraft program. Youth Leadership Program is geared toward youth ages 14 to 18, 14 to 18 for youth leaders. Same thing. You got kids, 4, 6, or 8-week program for youth leader program, and you just hold Toastmaster meetings. I'm just skimming across the top. Hold Toastmasters meeting for them. In the end, you can figure out how you want to do it. For both of those, I would say the qualifier would be that they all give a speech, especially for the youth. Yeah, you give a speech, make it a big deal, and they all give it in front of their parents. But keep in mind, too, that the youth leadership program, you are screened. You will be screened for you're working with youth, and not everybody rolls around here. I'm going to roll up here and work with you. We don't know anything about your background. Yes, we will know something about your background. So if you got something in your background, don't need to come out. Don't do a youth leadership program. That's what I would say. Okay. Youth YLP. Any questions up to this point?
Herman, hi, this is Mary. How long did you say the youth leadership program? Did you say 4 to 8 weeks as well?
Let's take it 8 weeks.
8 weeks. Okay. Makes sense. Thank you.
However you want to, whichever way you want to do it, I would suggest 8 weeks for the youth, at least 8.
I agree. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Dr. Johnson.
A quick question, sir.
Yes.
My name is Joyce, and quick question is, has the youth program changed? Because a lot of things have changed in TI. So I'm checking to see if anything has changed in the youth program or in the Speechcraft program.
Changed how, Joyce? You have anything specific? Joyce, anything specific when you say change since when, or change how?
It could be the presentation, because I remember a long time, I've been a Toastmaster for a long time.
Mhm.
I went to school and I was doing the program. Before, they used to give us a package of materials to use. So I wonder if that's still the case or if everything is done electronically. I mean, yeah.
That's still the case, and it's done electronically. You'll get the package electronically, Joyce. The same thing I said was going to be pretty high level here. I wasn't getting too much in the weeds, but you're exactly right. You get a package, and there's a cost associated with the package. Also, I think it's $50. I think. Don't quote me on that, please.
Okay, I could check on that. I just thought of the cuff you had something, but that's fine, sweetie. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it is absolutely there. Barbara, yes, ma'am.
Someone else, yeah. Mhm.
Hi, Herman. A quick question about Speechcraft and youth leadership. If we have one that we want to conduct, but we live outside of the District 220 area, I live in the 218 area. If we conduct that youth leadership, can District 220 still get credit for it, or can we still get credit for it as part of a District 220 club?
Bob, I'm going on a limb, man. I got the district director on, and she gonna yank me back when if I say something wrong here. If you are the one if you are the one that ordered this Speechcraft program, and you are the one that what I say signed up for it to do it, you are the one that would get credit. Madam District Director, please throw something at me if I said something wrong.
No, you're fine. Her question is if it's outside of District 220's mapping. But if you're virtual, is this going to be virtual?
No, this would be a youth leadership at
it'll be in
the studio where I
person.
teach.
It'll be in person in that area. Because you're in that area, that you're crossing the line becomes a little tricky, but we could talk offline on this, Barbara.
Okay, that's fine. Thanks.
Yeah, we could discuss it further with our club growth director, but off the top, I will say no, because you're in a different district now.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. That's requirement number 5. Take a look at requirement number 6. Requirement number 6 is that DTM project. And anybody remember when I said, how do you get the DTM project itself? You can only get access to the DTM project once you have completed one complete path and level 3 of your second path. That's how you unlock access to the DTM project. Okay. That's how you unlock access to it. And you have to send an email to Toastmasters International requesting that to be unlocked. DTM project is nothing more than designing a plan. What kind of project? What do you have in your local community? What kind of plan can you do in your local community that would allow you to be the one that would design that plan, put it together, put a team together, get it done, and see it through to completion? First of all, once you do it, you all do all your designing. You can give a 5-minute presentation saying, hey, here's the intent, here's what we're doing. And then when it's complete, you're going to give another presentation that says, hey, here's the results of what we did, what I did for the DTM project. Boom, here it is. But you document all of that, all of that, all of that. The district has some opportunities. The district has some opportunities for you to fulfill this project. I will throw one out there right now. What if the district says, hey, I'm looking for somebody to be the contest, whatever, to put together the district contest or to assist the PQD in putting together the district, not contest, conference. I meant to say conference, not contest. Be our conference chair. You think that might, float? It may. One thing about doing it when you do it outside of Toastmasters is that at least one person on your team must be a Toastmaster. Okay, one person on your team must be a Toastmaster. Dr. Johnson, yes, ma'am.
Yes, Herman. If you've already completed a lot of the requirements to get your DTM project when we were District 27, does that count towards your DTM?
Absolutely. Document. All you got to do is have get all your documents together and do it. Yeah, absolutely. Let's don't try and reinvent the wheel and go back and do something we have already done. Okay. A bunch of us have probably, and I know you are probably one of them, have done multiple DTM projects without having this there to see it. We've actually done them without knowing that we've done them. That's why I tell people you're probably closer to DTM than you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
because of some of the things we've done. You just need to make sure you got it documented when you did it. You may have to go back, in my humble opinion, go back and at least give a presentation on what you did.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Give a presentation on what you did. This is what I did. This is who was on my team, and this is how we done it. This is the result of what we did.
Got it. Thank you.
Absolutely. But make sure you do all the things, just since you've done all of the things in it, the requirements that need to be done. Here's your roadmap. Take a look at it. There's your roadmap. Told you there were two separate sections of this: education, communication, leadership, and service. You see the things that you need to do there for your club officer. You need to do the CSP, Club Success Plan, and the officer training. Down there in leadership and service. District leadership, 1 year term. 1 year terms, district leader, club mentor or coach. Then you need to do a club sponsor or speechcraft or youth leadership program. Understand it's not all three. There's an or in between all of those. So it's a club coach or mentor. Boom, you're taking care. You got that block there checked. You move over to club sponsor or do a speechcraft or do a youth leadership program. Okay. Then, of course, the education piece, your 2 pathways and your DTM project. You're pretty much on your way. You're done. It's done. It's that simple. Just another way to look at it. Just another way to look at it. I'm being silent because I told you I don't read to you. You can read for yourself as well as I can. And the most important piece is number 6. Well, one of the most important pieces, number 6, is to do it and do it right. And that's confirm all your requirements are complete, gather your documentation, obtain a club officer verification, and submit your application. Sit down with your club officer, go over it, say, this is when I did this, that, and that. Because all of that stuff, you can do what? You can extract it right out of your account in TI. Personal plan. I will go more into a personal plan the next time we meet. I actually have some things that you can do depending on where you are. You can pick it up and track, but you identify what you've already completed. That's the first thing you need to do, is identify what you've already completed.
Distinguished Toastmaster Herman, I had a question.
Lisa, go ahead.
Yes. As far as trying to have a DTM project that may not necessarily be something that is typical, are we assigned a sponsor, or who do we talk to? Like, hey, I have this idea about doing, this, that, and the other, and getting that feedback that, okay, hey, yes, this would qualify as a valid DTM project.
I'm curious when you say it's not typical there, Lisa. Give me an example on not typical.
Perhaps doing some kind of a webinar that's in conjunction with your job or a university or other professional organizations that you might be connected with. Just something that not necessarily, assisting with the, with the contest, which, that's a great idea too. But I'm just saying something that typically we don't talk about that could still qualify as a valid DTM project. Who would we talk to about that to make sure, hey, if we decided to commit ourselves to it, it would be indeed recognized as a valid DTM project?
understand that when you submit your application, the person that signs that application is one of your club officers.
Okay.
It doesn't say submit it to the district. It doesn't say submit it anywhere else. It's one of your club officers. Now, I will tell you that I'm a resource that you can use to say, hey, Herman, let me run this by you. Here's what I'm going to do. And here's who is, and I'm going to go down a checklist with you. I'm going to ask you, who's on your team?
Okay.
Is at least one person on your team a current Toastmaster? And we can check those boxes, and you can do those for yourself. And actually, we'll give you all here next time we meet a check the block kind of thing for that DTM plan. But yes, ma'am, I'm a resource that you can use, bouncing off me. There are several other folks I can send you to as a double check, and we'll get together. Yeah, ask. You can start with me, and I'll get you to the right people.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely.
What if somebody wants to compete, but part of that, what exceptions or what office can you hold in the district and still compete in the contest?
Not none.
The logistics officer, you can.
Logistics officer was not on my list.
Right.
That's right. If it's not on that list that I gave to you, then that's it. Those are the ones that they're looking at. That's it.
Hey, Herman.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I put a questionnaire in the chat box. I don't know if it makes sense, but if someone did something, I use the example. Someone did something 3 years ago. Would it count towards the requirements? Meaning, do we have to complete the requirements within a certain period of time?
No, you do not. There are some folks I know for a fact that are on this line now that were an area director several years ago, but don't have their DTM yet. Of course, that counts.
Got it.
Now, the deal is, though, is that when you get ready to go for your second, I need to speak to this. When you get ready to go for your second DTM, you start all over. I can't use the division director thing that I did a couple of years ago for my second DTM. If I have my second DTM for my third DTM, I can't use that I was a club officer. I can't use that I was a district officer. I can't use any of that stuff.
You got to do it again.
You got to do it all over again. All over again. It's not all of that stuff is.
So there's level to this. So there's like DTM 1, DTM is like black belt, third degree.
It could be. If you see somebody says DTM time 2, 3, 4, 5, they should have started over doing all of that again. A year long as a district officer, a year long as a club officer, all of that again. Now, and if somebody can tell me that I'm wrong on that, let me know, and I'll tell you why I read it at. But go ahead. That answer your question, though, Vinny?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's.
I will be leaving it on you, sir.
Okay, Shayla.
Listening to the previous conversation, is there a benefit in being DTM 3 times or more? Just out of curiosity.
No more than you get to increase your knowledge, you get to increase your awareness of what it is that you're doing. I think that leadership skills, just like I tell people all the time, leadership and speaking skills what's that big word? I think it was a word of the day once, atrophy. They will fade. They're just like fishing, hunting, bowling, and golfing. If you don't fish, hunt, bowl, and golf often enough, every time you go out there, you got to knock off the rust. So it just, to me, this is my personal opinion. My personal opinion, it just keeps me sharp with my leadership and communication skills to do it over again. That's one benefit. I won't say it's the only benefit, but that's one benefit. And it also keeps you involved. And you are there continuously to do what? Help other folk. Okay, help other people. Reach down and pull somebody else up. That's the benefit of doing it over and over again.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Anybody else have an answer to that want to share? They want to share an answer to that? Why would you do DTM 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever? Now, a lot of the folks right now, like me, I'll take you for me, my DTM is from the legacy system. Probably should have had 2, 3, 4 by now if I'd have done what I'm teaching right now. And that is documenting all those things that I've done up to this point. But Lord willing, the creek don't rise, I will be done with all my requirements here in about 4 months for DTM number 2, just because I made the conscious effort to, hey, stop, like some of you have said, stop. Let's make a conscious effort to document the things that we do, get credit for it, and move on and get your Distinguished Toastmaster Award. Yeah, that's what's happened with that.
Yeah, I agree. Some people go the multiple route because they want to challenge themselves on new projects. So it doesn't mean that the previous one they had is any less, but they just want to challenge themselves. As a matter of fact, one of our very well-known instructor in District 220, Lillian Cook, she's a 5-time? And I understand that there are others that may have more than she does.
Yep.
So just challenging yourself. And that's really the bottom line for the more than one.
And it also helps your club.
And it helps your club.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You are exactly. You are contributing to your club as you go along and you get all those levels and achievements help your club in more ways than one. Not just that, but just you being around all of those folks and them wanting to aspire to do what it is that you do to achieve their DTM and doing that. And I think to your point, Madam District Director, I've gone to several clubs, with this thing. The most I've seen, I saw DTM times 12 on the screen once. One of the clubs I visited that was out west somewhere. But yes. Ariel, yes, ma'am.
I am shadowing an area director this year. Does that provide anything towards DTM, or I'm just in a practice state?
You are in a practice state. You are gaining knowledge you will be ahead of your fellow area directors next year whenever you decide you want to be an area director. Or you may say, hey, I know what this area director thing's about. I might want to be a division director next year instead. But either way, you are, yes, ma'am. It does not any of what we're talking about here does not count in that way, but it counts, okay, in other ways. Absolutely. And I thank you for doing that too. That's absolutely wonderful. You're gaining knowledge that people really need that aren't gaining that knowledge. Mr. Past District Director Ramu Garapati. Hello, sir.
Yeah, I just wanted to add my comment. So next week, if you're going to be at the Vancouver Convention, you're going to meet some folks who have like 9, 10 DTMs. And if you ask them the reason why they have so many DTMs, most of them say, just because I'm giving a lot of speeches and I want credit. Simple answer. But Toastmasters, if you've been a Toastmaster for a long time, the curriculum is very static, but not so anymore. Just in the last 6 months, we had 3 new pathways come into existence. So 2 of them are from olden days, and the one that came in last week was the online meeting mastery. So Toastmaster is going to increase the number of new pathways in the coming years. So having many DTMs will keep you always challenged and you can see the growth that you want. Back to you.
Thank you. Appreciate that input. Absolutely. Joyce, yes, ma'am.
I think from my experience of having been a Toastmaster for a very long time and participated in various clubs, especially the IMF, International Monetary Fund, and the World Bank and other places, consistency. It keeps me knowing that I'm working toward a goal. I have that consistency of continuously preparing my speeches, and that helps with, of course, like others have said, the club. But as a person, I realize that a lot of things now have become automatic. I don't have to prepare for a speech like we used to before. It doesn't take me long. I could do spontaneous speaking, do table topics. It just increases your confidence too because of that consistency that you keep on showing up. And even being able to participate, and or sometimes you may be in a club and the meeting roles have changed because maybe someone didn't come in. It's easier just to say, yeah, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that. Thanks.
Absolutely awesome. And you make a very valid point in that you don't have to worry about that when the boss comes up to you and say, "Hey, Herman, I want you to brief the general, the admiral, the CEO, the CFO tomorrow, and you need to be 5 minutes. Give me a 5 minute spiel on what it is that project we're working on." You and the boss in the elevator going up to the 199th floor. The boss looks over at you and say, "Hey, Herman's retiring here in a couple of weeks. What do you think about taking this position?" You look back at the boss and your mouth is wide open and nothing's coming out. That's, but we're doing this all the time. And it's just like a tabletop. You and the boss in the elevator and you are ready. You are ready all the time because you do this stuff. You do it. You keep it. You don't have to knock off the rust because you haven't been out there. Yes. Kenyatta, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Joyce.
You're welcome, sir.
Kenyatta, you there?
Yes, I'm here. I wanted to ask a question about the mentor pathways path. I believe it appeared when I was doing my first path, and that was innovative planning. And I am in the process of working on that mentor path. And I wanted to know, is that something that's nice to do to support being a mentor?
If it's the one I'm thinking it is, Kenyatta, it is the one that's nice to do. It is not an actual path that counts toward the current pathway paths per se. I think I know which one you're talking about. There was a mentor, there's a mentor lesson, if you would, that you can take out and do, but there's not a mentor path. If I am wrong on that, somebody please pipe in and send me to school. Teach me. Okay. But I don't think I'm wrong on that. I think that's what you're referring to, Kenel.
Oh, yes, it is. Thank you.
All right. There you go. Hey, I'm going to finish this up here. We are, look here. There you are. There's your checklist. There's your checklist right there. Path 1 and 2 complete. Check. I've been a club officer for a year. Check. While I was a club officer, I participated in the club success plan and I went to club officer training. Check. District leadership, I was an area director, division director, finance manager. Check. Club mentor or coach. There was a new club that came along. The program quality director called me up and said, "Can you coach this new club?" 2 of you, 2 coaches per club. 2 of you, 2 coaches per club, or mentor. Can be assigned. Mentors, 6 months. Now that 6 months is not you put your name on a paper and you show up about the 5th month so that you can get credit for it. That's not how it works. Okay. That is not how it works. If you're a club mentor, you show up as often as you possibly can to every club, because how are you mentoring somebody if you are not there? And the same thing with being a coach. Understand the commitment that you're making when you say, "I want to be a club coach. I want to be a club mentor." Okay. Which means you're saying, "I want to be a distinguished Toastmaster." Understand the commitment that you're making when you do that. And it's the same. Club sponsor. Club sponsor is nothing more than you are there. You help bring that club to fruition. And I can't wait. I haven't read the chat. I can't wait to see the name of some of the clubs that you all want to bring up to fruition. And you all know, I hope that I thought I saw her come in, that the club growth director is on the call tonight. I know I saw her come in, and she is checking out that chat on the name of clubs that people want to or aspire to bring to fruition and to be a sponsor for. Same thing with Speechcraft and youth leadership. We'll go in depth into those later on. And then, of course, your DTM project. And down at the bottom there, it says keep physical and digital copies of all your records. You know what happens sometimes whenever your computer, like mine did, mine ghosted me tonight on the actual presentation, the other presentation I was going to give, but that's okay. You wouldn't have known that if I hadn't said it. Lisa, yes, ma'am.
A quick question about the requirements that you have for club officer training. Now, does the club officer training have to be connected to, I guess, when you're going through the checklist, the club officer position that you say that you have, the leadership requirement? So the most latest leadership you've held, or any leadership you've held? And does the same thing apply to the TLI? Or, okay, hey, this is when I was club president, this is when I did the TLI, and that has to match up? Or the fact that you served as an officer, or you just went to a TLI training?
The fact that when you served as a club officer, time, okay, and the TLI training, those dates do need to match up. We read the application and it tells you that it needs to match up, that I went to training during this time. Oh, by the way, I can see here you were a club officer at that time too, for that particular position. Read the application, and we'll take a quick look at the application. Read the application, and it will tell you that. Yes, I think that's what you're asking.
Yes, that is what I'm
And it doesn't matter how long ago it was. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't. There's no expiration date on it. You know, it expires when you get your DTM. Now that one's expired. Now you got to go do it again. There's no expiration date on it until you get your Distinguished Toastmaster Award. And then that time, as far as putting it on an application, that time has expired.
Okay. Thank
That
you.
answer your question, Lisa?
You did. Thank
All right. Got it. Here's your checklist. It's that simple. You know, it looks simple when you look at it here. That's all I got to do to be a DTM. Yes, that's all I got to do. But understand what's behind all I got to do. Okay. Understand what is actually there. Here's some common mistakes to avoid.
I'm sorry, excuse me, before you move
Yes, ma'am.
forward. Club Growth
Go ahead.
Director has her hand up.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Who is that?
Club Growth Director, Kimberly.
Kimberly, you didn't pop up in my here. Go ahead, Kimberly. Distinguished Toastmaster William.
Thank you so much, Distinguished Toastmaster Herman. I just wanted to let everybody know hello, first of all. I'm glad to be here. And I know a lot of you are asking about becoming a club coach. We need a lot of club coaches. I got all of that information in the chat for you. If you want to be a new club mentor or sponsor, that information is in the chat as well. And if you want to run a speechcraft, host a speechcraft, or if you have a new club opportunity, those things are right there in the chat. All you have to do is click the link, and I'll turn it back over to you, the Distinguished Toastmaster Herman.
You can keep talking. That's good info right there. Let me tell you, that's like gold. That was solid gold. Because what you just said are the items that I won't call it rope, the items that hold a lot of people back. Okay, because of the opportunities that are there. And you just threw it out there that the opportunities are there. Now all I have to do is take the opportunity, which is, the whole thing of, what's standing between me and you. Opportunity is air's gone. Now let me take the opportunity, get it out the way, and we can do that. Thank you very much, ma'am. Take a look at it. It's in the chat. Copy, paste that chat. Take it with you. Make sure you have it. Can't use outdated requirements. I've been harping on that all night long. Always verify against Toastmasters International materials. Can't use outdated requirements. Be careful when you're downloading things off of the internet. If you go out there, you search for something and boom, a PDF, something pops up for a form or a booklet or a handout, whatever, please go to TI. Go to Toastmasters.org to get your official stuff. Get the official stuff right off of TI. Get it from there. And then I will tell you, sometimes I've done the same thing and wow, just to find out that it was outdated. So be careful with it. Okay, be careful with it. Don't confuse your club and your district requirements. Said that a couple of times. Okay. And you can't submit, Toastmasters TI get a lot of applications up there that aren't verified. They aren't verified. It's got to be verified by one of your club officers. That's where it is. The district doesn't need to be, you don't need to send your verification up through the district, because your club officer know the things that you have been doing for the most part. Now, I know we're in multiple clubs. You just need to pick the one that you want to have your DTM assigned to. Okay. But you got to document. Those are the mistakes. Stay away from them. Another readiness application, some of the same thing. I did these little applications, any checklist. Make your checklist. What is it saying? That's the third time a checklist has popped up there. Third different checklist. What do you think you ought to do? Make a checklist and then stick to it. Resources. Official DTM requirements. What? You think they got a place on TI on the website that goes like, boom, there it is. That's exactly what I need for my DTM right there. The application is out there. We know what's going on in base camp. We know when you'll get your DTM project. And of course, there's a club officer kit out there to help you be the best club officer you have ever been and can be. Lastly, there's your call to action. There's your call to action. The Distinguished Toastmaster. The Distinguished Toastmaster is a mark of excellence in communication, leadership, and service. Communication, leadership, and service. It requires dedication and consistent achievement across multiple areas. Think about the areas that you're doing it to get there. And a commitment to helping others succeed within your organization. And your organization is District 220 on down to your club. Earning your DTM is both a personal milestone and a professional milestone. It's a contribution. And it's definitely a contribution to the broader Toastmasters community. Tonight was just a broad, big overview of what it is. Our next session will be on the first Monday in September 3rd at the same time. I will be right here every first Monday at 7 o'clock to answer your questions, to give you some more information that has come up, to give you the answers to questions that I've received and keep you informed and keep you up. But our next session, if you can make our next session, I plan to take a deeper dive in some of the things that we just took a broad swipe at tonight. And if you did not know it, we did set aside an hour and a half for this. Our next session is going to be set aside from 7 to 8:30 as well. So we have the time, you got it in your mind, what it is we're going to do. Okay. And with that, I will take any questions that are left. Lisa, yes, ma'am.
I have some Toastmasters and some area directors who are interested in pursuing their DTM as well. But because of a scheduling conflict, and emergencies come up as well, they were not able to log in and be with us this evening. Would they be able to join the next session even though they were not able to attend this evening?
Oh, absolutely. We have, this is the first, we have 10 more sessions. They can get anytime, jump in. Okay. Jump in anytime. Now the next one, we'll get just a quick review of what we did this time and do it. In addition to, this session is being recorded, and I believe the district is going to we'll put it out there on the district website where they can go back and look at this session.
Fantastic.
We want to make all the information available to everybody that needs it when they can get it. Andrea.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate all of this information. Will next week be the same link as this week?
We will create a new link, and email will be sent to all of you that registered so that you will have that information.
Thank you so much.
Okay. There you go. Thank you, Madam District Director. So look for a new link. This link, not after tonight, is no good, but look for a new link. There we are.
And correction. I'm sorry, correction. Herman accidentally said Monday. He meant Thursday.
Did I say Monday?
Yes, you did.
Monday, so September 3rd on a Thursday.
That's a Thursday, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I messed that up. September 3rd is on a Thursday. So it'll be on the first Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. All right. We
Correct.
get that first Thursday. Got it. Are there any questions in the chat that I may have missed? Because I have not had an opportunity to look at the chat because I have my screen up that you really want to answer. Ariel, yes, ma'am.
Now, somebody had posted about how long is it estimated for DTM to take, like months, years, like what's a ballpark?
Ballpark, if I gave you a ballpark, there's a couple of years, but it depends on the person. You know, this is a self-paced program. You know, Pathways is a self-paced program. It's self-paced. So you know it's going to take at least a year because some of the requirements, you can do a district and the club requirement at the same time. That's the year-long thing. Now it depends on the other things would depend on if you get an opportunity to be a club coach, and you can do that. You have 2 years to be a club coach. Or a club mentor is a 6-month thing. But think about those that would take a while. Those are, and of course, pathways. How long does it take you to complete a path? How long would it take you to complete 2 paths, rather? 2 paths. That'll depend on the person and how steady you are with your wanting to get it done. But if I were to say a ballpark, if you ask for a ballpark, I'll give you minimum 2 years. If you can knock it out in a year, I'm thinking like, not. Shawnee? You're on mute, Shawnee, or I can't hear you. I still can't hear you. Now you're really on mute. Okay, put it in chat. Thank you, ma'am. All right. And while you're putting that in the chat, I am going to hand this back over to, no, I'm not. What is you? Somebody tell me what Shawnee put in the chat. There you go.
Sean, I'm sorry, go ahead. I think she's still
Okay.
typing. I don't
All right,
see.
Shawnee. Send it to me in an email, Shawnee. You know the deal. you know how to get in touch with me. There you go. All right. Hey, with that, ladies and gentlemen, you know the deal. I always leave everybody with the 4 S's. Got them. Some of you know the 4 S's. Say it with me. And it is the 4 S's of public speaking. And stand up, speak up, shut up, and sit down. I'll take my seat and turn it back over to the district director. Madam District Director.
Thank you. Everyone, please give him a round of applause.